That's not good. Welcome to Pink Caddy Garage. Well, we've got the whole front suspension rebuilt on the 62 Cadillac. We've got the whole video series on that if you're interested in doing that on your car. And now nothing left but just to align the front end. And my whole life I've never aligned a front end. You just take it to the shop and they work their magic, and after that it steers and stops straight and all that good stuff. But then I thought, why don't I try to do this myself? So I waffled for about 2 weeks while the car sat in the garage, and I came this close to taking it to the shop. And then I remembered that our slogan was "Fix It Yourself." So I went on Amazon and started looking at alignment tools, and this showed up, so I thought I'd show it to you right quick. I guess this is our first Pink Caddy Garage unboxing video. So in the box, we have this alignment tool. This is the Fastrax 91,000. And also we have some instructions, might need those, and a decal. That's all, nothing else. Now this tool is basically designed to check your camber and your caster angles on your front end alignment. The third measurement that this tool will not take care of for you is measuring your toe end. So today's video is going to be mostly concerned with camber and caster. We didn't change any of the steering components, so toe end should not have changed either, although it will have to be checked, and we will do another video about that. Now you can buy one of these on eBay or Amazon for about 150 bucks. Our front end alignment costs about $90, and that's one of the reasons I was waffling. I didn't convince myself until the last minute that this would actually pay for itself, but we've got a lot of potholes around here in Dallas, so I imagine I need to check my other vehicles as well. Now this particular model is going to fit wheels with a size of 13 inches up to 18 inches. If your wheels are bigger than that, then they make another model, but then it's not going to check the smaller one, so be sure you get the right one for your application. So I don't have Ashley here to say let's go. So let's go. The purpose of this video today is just to kind of take you through the whole process and show you how this works. We've got some specs that we're going to be trying to hit with this alignment, and we will go over those in a minute. So let's go ahead and get this thing on and we'll go through it together. All right, let's look at this tool right quick. So you can see you've got 3 mounting points here where you're going to attach this to your rim. And if we can get real close, you can see each peg has 3 steps on it for different rim styles and different rim depths. We're going to be using this one right here at the end. So as you put this tool on, you just need to be sure all 3 points are using the same area so you don't have it put on crooked or anything like that. So to adjust it to your rim, you basically have a locking knob here. You loosen that, and then the knob behind it is going to let you raise it or lower it to get on the rim. So we're going to get ours on here right quick, get it in the ballpark. Once you've got it, snug it up a little bit of pressure and tighten that locking rim. So once we have our tool on, we're just going to want to verify that we've got it perfectly straight up and down, perpendicular to the floor. So I usually use my iPhone for this, but we're recording with it, so I just went to the App Store and downloaded a digital angle finder onto this iPad. So it's going to measure our 90 degrees for us. Kind of get clear your button area. If you have them on your device, that'll throw it off a little, and just put it right up against the tool. You can see we're just about a ½ degree off. So just gently rotate your alignment tool on that rim a little bit until you get it to 90 degrees. Close enough. So the shop manual says the first thing that we need to adjust is our caster angle. So in other words, when you're turning this tire left and right, your caster actually controls how much of a pivot you're going to get. And when you get that thing just right, you've got good steering stability, the steering wheel returns to center the way you want it to, and all that kind of thing. So let's get started with that. So the way you check caster on most cars of this era is to turn the wheel 15 degrees in either direction and take your measurement. So I've used a protractor to figure out, this is my straight ahead line here, and then I've got a 15-degree angle turning in and a 15-degree angle turning out. Now, one thing this tool has on it, if we look at the end of our bubble gauge here, we see a couple of angles there as well. So that's also a nice little guide to show you where you are, but when you're just dealing with a little piece that's a ½ inch long, it's not a great angle finder. One of the main things that helped me though, and really saves a lot of time, is once I got these tape marks down and double checked it with the angle on the tool, just make a mental note of how many turns of the steering wheel it takes to get to 15 degrees. On this car, it is exactly 1 turn, and that saves you a bunch of time. All right, so to start taking measurements, we do have our right tire turned out 15 degrees, and then we're going to want to go to our gauge, and again, you've got a camber side on the left, caster side on the right. We're going to want to get that bubble to 0 degrees at this point on the caster side. That's 0. You've got a locking knob here. Tighten it down so it won't move. Now we're going to turn that tire in 15 degrees and see what our measurement is. So the alignment value we're going for on the caster here is plus 1 degree. So 1 degree positive on the gauge. And we're at about 5 degrees, so not surprising considering we've changed everything. So let me show you how to adjust that caster right quick. All right, so let's go under the car and I'll show you just what we're dealing with here. Again, we're on the right side of the car. This is our lower control arm. Bolted to it is this strut rod, which comes to the front of the car through this cross member and bolts on here. And as you can see, it's got quite a bit of threads in it, both front and back. So this is how we're going to change our caster. If we loosen both of these nuts and turn them one at a time to either effectively lengthen or shorten this rod, we're going to change our caster. So shortening the rod, which it's going to be going this direction, gives you more caster. We've already got way too much. We need to take about 4 degrees out. So we're going to hopefully end up with a lot less threads here. We're going to lengthen this bar. And to do that, you're just going to need a 1 1/8 wrench. I'm going to use a service wrench here just because it's quicker than using a long wrench. These wrenches are short, about 5-6 inches long. Let's see what we can do here. All right, well that's about 8 full turns of that back bolt. On the opposite side of what we're looking at here, and then we just got this one tightened down. The shop manual says 1 full turn is a ½ degree, so 8 turns should have given us 4 degrees. So after making that adjustment, you're going to have to go through your 0 out process again. So turn the tire out, 0 the gauge, turn it back in 30 degrees, and take a reading. So let's do that. All right, we've just gone through our calibration again, turn the wheel back in. We are at right where we want to be. 1 degree of positive caster. So that's a good starting point. We may adjust a little bit more after the road test, but let's move on to our camber now. For your camber adjustment, you're basically going to be rotating a bushing on the back side here of the suspension that is going to move the top of this tire in or out. So when it's out, that's positive camber. When it's in, it's negative camber. But the first step you're going to need to do is 0 out your gauge on the ground, because most likely your garage or your shop floor is not level. So again, remember, you're working with a new side of the gauge here. We're going to be going on the left side of the gauge that says camber. You've been doing caster, it's easy to get them mixed up because you're in the habit. So just set it on the ground and 0 it out. So the spec we're shooting for camber here is 0.02 negative, which is going to be pretty much just below this 0 line, but as you can see, the bubble's at 1, so we need to do some adjusting. All right, we're under the car now, and where's my pointer? We'll use this. So this is the upper control arm, upper ball joints coming down through this steering knuckle. I've taken the cotter pin out, And we're going to loosen this nut about 1 full turn, enough to get this washer where it's moving freely. And then up here is going to be our camber bushing. And I think I've got a picture that I can show you. So there's your camber bushing right there. As you can see, it's offset. So when you put a wrench on there and spin it around, it's got quite a bit of adjustment available to you. Alright, so I've got a 1 3/8 of an inch service wrench, which is a thin wrench that we're going to get on that camber bushing like that. And then we're going to basically be turning this one direction or the other to see which way we need to go, and keep checking our bubble on our gauge. And then once we figure that out, we will go ahead and get it turned to negative 0.02 degrees. Well, I couldn't really get much leverage on a little 5-inch long wrench, so I had to turn the tire out all the way to get some room to work. And then we put the wrench on and you know, beat on it a little bit with a hammer to get it to turn. But anyway, we got about 30 degrees of movement on it, which probably should get us in the ballpark. In order to check this, you may have loosened up this nut a little bit. Now it's tight again after I've adjusted it, so this thing's moving up and down a little. So tighten this nut back down, straighten the wheel out, take a new reading. Alright, so we are now again on the camber side of the gauge there on the left. We're at about 1 mark under 0, so that is about 1/4 of a degree negative camber, and that's the result of about 5 adjustments I made. I didn't film every one of them because that would make for some boring video, but you're going to have to tweak it a little bit as you go. Let's look at these tools for a second. Alright, well, we just went through the alignment process for the left side, so now both sides should be lined up according to the specs I found for radial tires. So just wanted to show you any specialty tools you might need for this. Of course, we talked about the alignment tool itself, and I just need to mention, if you do have wheels that don't have lips on them, they do make an adapter kit so that you can put it on what they call no-lip rims. On these old school cars, you don't need that. And then the only other thing that we bought here for this job in particular was what's called a service wrench set. You can get these at Harbor Freight or Northern Tool, but to do the camber bushing, you're going to need a 1 3/8 inch wrench. So you may already have a wrench, but it may be quite a bit thicker than this. As you can see, these service wrenches, that's a pretty thin wrench that allows you to get up under that grease seal on the ball joint. So, you know, you never finish buying tools, right? So hopefully that'll come in handy. And then I also ended up using this for the strut rod adjustments. That one is a 1 1/8 inch wrench. Comes in the same set. You can use a crescent wrench, but it's just a lot faster using a wrench that's a lot smaller. You can get in there and do some turning. So about the only thing we have left is to take it out and let's test it, because this thing had a pretty good pull over to the right when I would drive it previously, and when you put the brakes on, it would really kind of take off and want to turn right by itself. So opposite of NASCAR, I know. So you're supposed to be able to drive these Cadillacs with one finger, which I can do now. Let go of the steering wheel. We're tracking straight. I need to straighten that steering wheel with some toe-in adjustments. At least when I come to a stop, it's not trying to make a hard right turn. So I think we had some ball joint trouble there. It was just one of them was completely worn out. So do that one finger thing and hit the brakes hard. Much better. Let's go home. Well, that should just about do it for today. You know, the nice thing about having a tool like this is you can take it out and check your alignment on any of your vehicles in about 10 minutes. You can also play around with different values and see if it changes things in a way that's positive for you, or if you mess it up, you can always put it back the way it was. So hopefully this was helpful for somebody. I know it's a pretty detailed video, but thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.